In nome di Dio vi chiedo fermate questo massacro.
Pope Francis with a papal plea, his strongest condemnation of the war so far. As we mentioned earlier, the Holy Father calling for the massacre in Ukraine to stop. But can he do more to help bring an end to the violence? John Allen, editor at Crux, joins us now from Rome to dig deeper into this. And John, the Pope using some strong words talking about the Russian invasion, calling it an unacceptable armed aggression, and demanding in the name of God for this massacre to stop. So aside from condemning the war, what more can he do?
Well, hey, Christine, first of all, we should not miss how important what he did in that clip that you just showed. But one criticism of the Vatican heretofore is that it has been overly restrained, overly deferential to Russia, and not nearly forceful enough in its public rhetoric. All of this is unusually pointed and direct, and I think that signals a shift to some extent in the Vatican approach away from its normal caution towards more participating in the budding global anti-Putin coalition, even if Pope Francis still, so far, has not yet referred to Putin by name.
Right, and you recently wrote about a well-known actress in Italy who's from Ukraine publicly appealing to Pope Francis to go immediately to Kyiv, saying his presence would force Putin to halt his attacks. So is that even a possibility? I mean, do we really want to send the Pope into a war zone?
Well, first of all, you've just got to love Italians, Christine. And now this is, of course, a Ukrainian immigrant in Italy, but she spent many years here. And for Italians, the Pope is always both the cause of and the solution to all of the world's problems. And so wherever there is a hot spot, they expect the Pope to sort of drop in, wave a magic wand, and make the problem go away. How realistic that is remains to be seen. We should note, if Pope Francis were to go to Kyiv, this would not be the first time he has gone to an active war zone. He did so in the Central African Republic a few years back. He was so determined that he told the pilots on his Alitalia flight that if they didn't feel they could get him there safely, they should just give him a parachute, because one way or the other he was going. Now, I'm quite confident that at the moment, the security situation would make such a trip probably impossible. I mean, right now, Kyiv is a city under siege. It is being bombarded. Russian forces are advancing. We may be looking at urban combat in a matter of days. But the broad notion that the actress was reflecting, which is there is kind of an expectation in many quarters that perhaps Pope Francis could do something, if not out front behind the scenes. I think that's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out, Christine.
Yeah, and as you mentioned before, while the Pope has been speaking out against the war, he hasn't directly mentioned Vladimir Putin. What can you tell us about the Pope's relationship with the Russian president? We know Putin has visited the Vatican more than any other world leader and has actually met with Francis 3 times in the past.
Yeah, well, Christine, the reason Putin has been to the Vatican so many times is because he's been around so long, and that can happen when you don't really have to face democratic re-election. So, look, I think up to this point, up to the crisis in Ukraine, many of us who pay attention to the Vatican on a professional basis would have told you that the relationship between Pope Francis and Putin was surprisingly good. This isn't quite an alliance, but it's a kind of cautious détente, and the relationship seems to be deteriorating by the day. That said, the Vatican does want to produce some scintilla of hope that it could be involved in negotiation efforts. Cardinal Parolin said on Saturday that the Vatican is totally available to mediate this conflict. He added, however, in another interview today, so far the Russians haven't shown much interest.
All right, John Allen, editor at Crux, thanks so much for your insight.
Anytime, Christine.
Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti, anchor of Currents News. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more content just like it, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, because we are putting your faith in the news.